What's good, YouTube? Zion Amari, Real Spit TV, and like always, let's spit that real, man. So I've been reading the comments, and I see a few of y'all told me about Corey going on Zoe's show. I checked it out. So we're going to do what we've been doing. We're going to address it point by point for the most part and break down all the BS and get that to y'all. So without further ado, let's get it.
Wait. I didn't go out to put it on World Star. I know nothing about it.
If that is your logic, then you are going to have to explain the difference between yourself and Jerry Springer.
Explain nothing
Okay.
to nobody.
Exactly.
Watch the show.
I am confused between. I used to not be. I am now confused. By the way, nigga, we need to fuck around with some music. I am confused by the difference between what you were saying and what Jerry Springer is doing.
Okay, I understand.
Explain that.
But I tell you this, Jerry Springer is still on TV, ain't he? And my show still get high ratings, right?
And what's funny that a lot of people don't know is that Corey was actually on Jerry Springer in real life. And I'm not making this shit up. If y'all Google Corey Holcomb, Google or YouTube Corey Holcomb on Jerry Springer, and that will tell you everything that you need to know about this situation. Let's get it.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I tell you.
So he's saying that's the purpose.
Sure. All right.
Using the drama.
And what you have just done.
Not necessarily using drama, but when drama comes, I'm not scared of it.
What you were saying, no, bro, that's different. What you were saying is that you want to be the steward of those of us who vibrate at lower frequencies, and I'm fine with that.
What I'm saying is, I don't want to be at the level you at.
Oh, right.
And see, this is Corey. This is what Corey does. Now that Jeff is calling Corey on his BS, now he has to attack Jeff. See, Corey is super narcissistic and super egotistical, so he can't handle people calling him out on his BS. Even though he claims he's so real and he stands on everything he says, he stands on everything he does. We seen it with Zoe. When Zoe called him on his BS, he started taking shots at him. And he's going to do the same thing with Jeff. Jeff calls him on his BS, he's going to start to get disrespectful and take shots at him and try to change the narrative. Let's get it.
Right. That's fine. That's fine.
So watch this. Let me just do this and I'll throw it back to you, Jeff.
Sure.
So basically, I'm going to, so I'm not at the level that you're at, Jeff. I'm going to use personal situations with my friends or people who are, strong associates and coworkers that I've worked with and known for 10 years. I'm going to use their personal misfortunes or our personal situation to capitalize on to keep my ratings up just so I don't end up on your level. Look at the type of character that is. It's ridiculous.
When your friends are involved in the drama and things are said publicly, we have to understand, even if things are said privately, publicly is just going to intensify that. But if we say hurtful shit to each other, we got to understand that oftentimes verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse is worse than physical abuse.
That's true.
So if you get on and say something horrible about somebody that's supposed to be your brother, then bro, there's an emotional abuse to that where people got to say, oh, wait, hold on, man, I didn't mean that shit. This is why a lot of our fans was like, nigga, don't ever go back to that show. That shit was disrespectful. He tried to demean you as a man.
Make sure you say that again. Who are they?
The fans of the show.
The fans.
Okay, this Jeff Brown.
But the fans,
the motherfucking fans who are watching something. But
I'm a friend of you both, and I have to ask you, in what, please put, I only keep you around because of your intelligence, or words to paraphrase, pretty please with sugar on top, form that in the warm, positive, or funny, or sarcastic language.
It wasn't a warm, positive, fuzzy moment.
Okay, okay. I got a lot of pain. Please tell me when it is okay to tell a friend, somebody that this is what friends mean to me. If somebody pull a gun up in front of one of you, I gotta figure out what the fuck to do. It ain't a bunch of motherfuckers on that list. Tell me when tell you that I only keep you around for your intelligence and how you could possibly mean that any other way than cruel.
Boom.
When you say things that are true, you hurt the weak.
So basically, that was true. You keep Zoe around because he's intelligent and he's an asset. But Corey has a goofy ass fake machismo way of discrediting people who call him out on his BS or point out his BS. Basically, when you say things that are true, you hurt the weak. So it's not Corey's fault. It's everybody's fault for being weak. So we're all weak because we have a problem with the fact that Corey said he only keeps Zoe around because he's intelligent and he's an asset to the show. Not that that's some fucked up shit to say. Not that that's you using your brother. None of that. Not that that's disrespectful. None of that. It's because we're weak that it's a problem. It's nothing with Corey. It's nothing that he's doing wrong. That's the problem. We're the problem because we're weak. All right? Let's get it.
But you really mean that?
No, you say what you want to say. I'm just giving you some
Asking
examples.
you a question.
Obviously,
Did you
but you gotta
physically
square me
mean
in
the
like,
noun? Yes.
Wait.
you can't square me in like that. I'm too big.
They're your word.
And this is what I was just saying. Corey uses weak surface level arguments to build himself up. He just said, no, that's what you say because that's not what he's saying. That ain't nothing that Jeff is pulling out of his ass. He don't know how to deal with, he's not that intelligent. He don't know how to deal with real questions in which he has to acknowledge and confront his own BS. He don't know how to deal with it. So he has to make it about the person that is shedding light on his BS. See, he has to disrespect you. He has to poke at you to try to discredit you. Let's get it.
I qualify every man on earth by his words. Those are your words, Corey.
That's right.
This is what you said to this
Say
brother.
it again.
You meant them or you didn't. Did you mean I only keep you around because you are intelligent and that I have no other use for you? What is that? Did I say that exactly? Oh,
Now this nigga don't know what he said. This nigga never knows what he said. Did I say that? Did I say that exactly? Like, and that's that feminine shit. Women, I mean, men do this too, but I see it more with women. Some women, they get so angry and frustrated that they say shit without thinking as a defense mechanism. See, Corey, he's not that intelligent, like I said, so he doesn't have that many options when he's cornered. He's either going to get disrespectful or he's going to play dumb. But he's not going to have a logical, rational, reasonable, intellectual counter for people who confront him on his BS. Let's get it.
There is some truth.
you repeat
Hold
yourself.
on. Wait, can I talk? Can I
Sure.
respond?
Sure.
There is some truth to what you just said. Really, I think you upset because you have been calling me to be on the show, and no matter how much I got love for you, I feel like you have marginal talent.
Okay.
And you,
See, that was what I said. The disrespect. He's doing the same thing to Jeff that he did to Zoe. See, when Zoe called him on his BS with Stephen A. Smith and Grady, he had to get disrespectful with Zoe. He had to start exposing all Zoe's personal business. He had to take personal shots at Zoe. And now he's doing the same exact thing to Jeff. Now, because Jeff is calling him on his BS, it's about Jeff not getting on the show, and it's because he has marginal talent. And I don't know if, Corey could be doing one of two things. He could just be being disrespectful because that is his defense mechanism. Because like I said, with people like Corey that's not that bright and intelligent, disrespect is their only defense mechanism when people are pointing out they flaw-ass character. Or he could be trying to just divert attention and making disrespectful, insulting statements to get Jeff in his feelings to the point that we're no longer talking about what you did wrong, Corey. Now I'm justifying or trying to clarify whether I actually have marginal talent or not. See, that could be a psychological tactic of Corey. Let me, just throw some BS insult and get him to focus on that. And before we know it, Zoe will be making a statement and the conversation is just going to be moving along and we just going to gloss right over that without me actually having to deal with Jeff's strong point. Let's get it.
You can't help the show. So that's why I'm like, damn, that's my nigga Jeff. I got love for him. But
exactly.
So I think that's where that's coming from. But what I said to Zoe.
So basically, it's because Jeff has marginal talent. That's where that's coming from. So basically, everybody that witnessed the same thing that Jeff witnessed, we all have marginal talent. That explains everything. That's where it's coming from. We're all either weak or have marginal talent. That's the only reason that we harping on Corey's disrespect of Zoe. Got to watch these super narcissistic, egotistical, manipulative people. That's a lot of little subtle, goofy ass tactics that they try to pull to get out of situations and avoid taking accountability. Let's get it.
I stand on shit that I say, but you run with it like a word is only narrow like that. Zoe does have a lot of knowledge. Zoe retained.
What does that mean? But you run with it like a word is only narrow like that. Like, what the hell does that even mean? And Corey does a lot of double talking and just saying shit that has no substance and really don't even make sense. Like I said, this dude is not that bright. Let's get it.
His knowledge from reading better than most. That's an asset for the show. So what's bad about that?
Here's what's bad about it.
They're keeping you around only for that.
Okay, first.
So they're keeping you around only for that.
Okay,
that's obviously not true.
Let's discuss.
That was a moment. So
nigga said, that's obviously not true. That was a moment. And it's funny now that I think about the Got You When I Hit a Lick song that Corey did, where he said, that's what niggas tell hoes. That's really what niggas tell hoes. That was a moment. You know, when niggas get caught cheating, niggas get caught cheating, and they be trying to backtrack out of it. Baby, I'm sorry. I got caught up in the moment. We was having a fight. We was in a bad spot. The bitch started, complimenting me and kissing me on my neck, and I had a moment. That was a moment, baby. But don't throw away everything we got. That's what niggas tell hoes for real. That was a moment. How you gonna try to play my nigga Zoe like he's some dumb chick, man? Let's get it.
Hold on. Let me tell you something, Zoe.
And notice, I hate to keep pausing it, but notice this is what Corey is doing. He knows that Jeff got him backed into a corner. So he's going to try to manipulate Zoe into thinking it's everybody else. It's not me, it's everybody else. Watch this.
Things have happened with us besides the show. I'm talking about things of good intention. I don't have to call it out. Right. We have done things that basically show what I said right there. I went too far for a minute.
Right.
But what I'm saying is the average niggas grab your statement and hold it up in the air like this because that's all they got.
So, again, this is an average nigga issue. It's not that he completely disrespected, exposed, and tried to emasculate Zoe. It's either, a weak issue. We're weak. I forgot what else he said, but we're weak, whatever else he said, or average. So only average niggas point out the fact that he completely disrespected and tried to emasculate Zoe. So you notice how it's never him. It's either somebody's weak or they have marginal talent or they're average. That's the issue. It's never Corey. This dude is like, it's crazy to watch him struggle like this. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for him. That's like Donald Trump saying, don't listen to all these motherfuckers talking about I'm racist. Them average niggas, they just hating because I'm a billionaire and I'm the president and they average. That's why they hold on to everything that I say. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Let's get it.
They don't have nothing else. The reason me and you are here today is because we know it's more than that. You and me know it's more than that. But average niggas will grab just like when you argue with a bitch, and you be like, shut up, bitch, and then next time y'all talking shit, like, but you told me to shut up, bitch. I told you a lot more than that, but you remember, shut up, bitch. Average niggas gonna keep the...
What the hell does that have to do with what we were just talking about? Please tell me how that relates to what we're talking about. If you tell a woman, shut up, bitch, that's disrespectful. So unless all the other shit that you claim you said to her is just as disrespectful as shut up, bitch, what the fuck is your point, my nigga? Dumbass nigga, you too old to be this goddamn dumb. Let's get it.
Drama going, listen, you said that people said I don't have respect for you. And it don't matter who said it. All I want you to know is at that time, our shit wasn't respectful. And today, after we got through talking, I told you, we have something beautiful now. It's called a clean slate where there is no underlying bullshit.
Because we were able to...
See, he's trying to reinforce to Zoe that, hey, we already moved past this because they talked before the show, obviously. So he's trying to reinforce to Zoe, hey, we already moved past this now. Don't let this nigga Jeff get you to forget that we already moved past this and we got a clean slate. Because this is his way of getting out of accountability. And it shit is ridiculous, man. Let's get it.
He said, don't do their work for them. If you give Corey what he's asking for, you put yourself in the case. Make them come find you. Because that's a law firm doing their work. So I explained this to you. I explained it to you when my lawyer told me this. I explained it to your lawyer.
Again, Corey left all of this out. Corey left all of that out. The fact that Zoe explained to his lawyer, he explained it. Zoe explained to Corey's lawyer, he explained to Corey, all of that. Corey act like he was just completely in the dark in Zoe's MIA with the lawyer situation. When in all actuality, Corey knew exactly what was going on. So that shows you how manipulative and malicious he is, again, to try to completely paint a different narrative so we can look at Zoe sideways. Let's get it.
So I wasn't trying to get in the case, but that doesn't mean I didn't feel responsible for what happened. That's why it didn't take me nothing to say, let me give you this bread, because I want you to know I appreciate and respect that you handled that shit and made it go away. I appreciate it and respect it.
Now, I will say this about Zoe. Considering the fact that it's been like 3 years since that situation happened, and he ain't put a dollar towards Corey, towards that situation, towards that 20 racks. And he says that was always his intention. How is it that you put 10 on it 2 weeks after he exposed it to the public? See, that tells me, in my humble opinion, the way my logic worked, that tells me that Zoe only gave Corey that 10 racks because he was under pressure and because he felt like his personal image was at stake, because he felt like people were looking at him sideways or less than a man because he hadn't put nothing on that 20 rack, the 20 racks. So if you could come up with it in 2 weeks, if you could come up with 10 racks in 2 weeks, why did you not come up with nothing in 3 years? That's what I want to know. And I personally, like I said, I feel like I know the answer, but I don't know. That's just my assumption. That's the way my logic works. But let's get it.
From man to man, from brother to brother, that's why I was so serious. Yo, when I do what I need to do and I pull in some bread, you one of the first niggas I'm gonna come to because you did that. And
that you're saying that happened 2 weeks after Corey exposed it to the world? So it hadn't happened in 3 years, but 2 weeks after Corey exposed it, now you've done everything that you needed to do, and you able to get him his bread. See, that kind of makes me look at Zoe kind of, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I give Zoe a pass on is the fact that Corey, out of his own mouth, said, don't worry about it, every time Zoe brought it up to him. Now, that like I said, that's what makes me give Zoe a pass on that. Because you told that man, don't worry about it. And if you tell a man, don't worry about giving me 10, 20 stacks, and he got other stuff to take care of course, you know, I could get how Zoe's like, okay, well, when I got the extra bread, then I'll give it to him. But I feel like Zoe was pressured into giving Corey what he gave him. Let's get it.
Felt like you respected me on that alone. But I didn't know I just had to give you the check so you could see that I was serious about what I was saying.
For any money, Zoe.
No, you never did.
I
was asking you. No, you never did.
Because ever since I came to California, God has found a way for me. Ever since I took a chance on myself.
Ever since I came to California, God has found a way. God found a way when there was no way. He made a way. Hallelujah.
I don't need nobody else shit. But what I needed was for you to have my back on talking to that lawyer. But whatever the reasons was.
But he didn't have your back on talking to that lawyer. So you should still have a problem with him. Because there's nothing that he could do to change that. And that 10 stack shouldn't change it if it wasn't about the money to begin with. Let's get it.
Or whatever. And whatever we didn't communicate.
Right.
Like, communication might have been the main issue with it.
Right.
What you mean, why ever we didn't communicate? Zoe was communicating. Zoe told you 2-3 weeks ago, hey, I still got you on it. When I hit my lick, I got you on that bread. You didn't communicate. It ain't a we. What do you mean we's? When did this nigga learn French? It ain't no we. You didn't communicate that you really wanted that money. So take full accountability for that, bro.
Yeah. Well, you stood up, nigga. And I ain't tell you to stand up that way.
No.
Nigga, if you'd have gave me whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, I would have been like, oh, the nigga trying to step toward me. You know what?
How did he stand up if it wasn't about the money? I need that explanation. I need Corey to tell me how it is Zoe stood up by giving you money if it wasn't about money to begin with. Please tell me that. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't never ask you to do nothing.
You never did.
But as a man, when we make mistakes or when we know somebody is your man, you can't leave them hanging because they're going to feel some kind of way. They're going to feel played. That's how I felt.
And I understand that now.
However it got fixed, I'm 100% glad it got fixed because this is what I got the motherfucking strength to say. I really didn't want to lose your camaraderie, your manhood, even though I was prepared for it because, like I said, I'm the smart guy in the wings.
He definitely was not prepared for it because he wasn't prepared for that show to go left. He didn't know it was going to play out the way it played out. So there's no way he could have been prepared for it. And the fact that He kept on harping on this, bringing up this man's name, making songs about him, making T-shirts about him. He clearly was not prepared for it to go where it went. So stop it, Corey. You was not prepared.
The roses from the concrete.
He's another smart guy in the league. You can replace me with Jeff.
Oh, he don't respect you. But are they gonna say the shit wasn't respectable? Either they don't have that information or whatever. Motherfuckers always can come. Look, I had a bitch who pussy was immaculate, and people was telling me about how she be stepping on. So that's my bitch. It ain't gotta be perfect. Long as that throat is available, we can work through our issues. Now I know that's a crazy way to put it. $8 right.
That was a bad example, and it was a bad example for a couple of reasons. For one, you can't compare. I mean, you can compare friendships to relationships to business relationships in certain situations, but in certain situations you can't, because I'm gonna put up more. I'm gonna put up with more from my woman than I'm gonna put up with from a nigga in the streets, right? Because a romantic relationship is the strongest relationship that you can have. A romantic relationship is gonna be stronger than a business relationship and a friendship. You're sleeping with this person. So I may put up with disrespect from a woman every blue moon, and I may not, and I'm not gonna do that with a man. I'm not gonna do that with my homeboys, because the nature of our relationship is not based around the same thing. See, a friendship is based around respect, common interests, hobbies, us having, similar personalities or whatever. You can be polar opposites from your mate, but y'all love and y'all, the fact that y'all sleep together, y'all sexual chemistry, y'all spiritual, it's just a totally different dynamic when you're talking about a romantic relationship in this regard. So that was a bad example. Let's get it.
But there's a way, even though it might be strained, right, you can work through things. And there was, in my opinion, there was no better way for us to work through what we worked to until we motherfucking got it out.
Yeah, you told me that.
Young niggas out there, listen, squad might disagree, squad might whatever. But if it's squad, motherfucker. You don't swing on squad. You don't try to fight your motherfucking peoples. I'm talking about physically, because...
See, this fool don't understand, and it's ridiculous. He's 50 plus years old. When you're disrespectful to people, squad or not, when you disrespect and expose people's personal business, that leads to physical altercations. How are you from the streets and from the hood and you don't know that? That's common sense. Verbal disrespect leads to physical disrespect. And on another note, what Corey is trying to do is he's trying to lower the bar of friendship. He's trying to lower the bar of relationships. Look, in the black community, low standards is a very big problem in our community. We don't need no niggas trying to lower the bar on nothing else. Friendship, we need to be raising the bar. So we don't need to be trying to normalize disrespecting your homeboys, exposing your homeboys' personal business. We don't need to be trying to normalize that and make it like, that ain't, it ain't that big of a deal. You 100% could have dealt with this in a better way. You can't convince me that this is the only way that you could have dealt with it. No, this is the only way that you could have dealt with it, because you don't have enough depth to your character to know how to deal with things the proper way. So don't try to normalize your jacked up toxic way of dealing with things. No, that's the best way you could have dealt with it. Venting your pent up animosity about shit that you could have articulated off camera in a respectful manner, is not normal, and that's not the best way to deal with it. We're not gonna let you do that. We're not gonna let you do that. Let's get it.
Niggas kill each other. That's what we do.
Right. Yeah, you get mortal.
Niggas kill each other.
It gets mortal.
So whatever happened with me and Zoe, I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but I'm here to tell you, I think it was the best way for us to really get to where we at, where we are, in my opinion, at an opportunity to be solid from here on out.
Wait, it was a way.
And see, this is another thing. What he was just saying is, I've seen it happen in relationships. Like what he's saying is, this situation was so bad that it strengthened our bond. It strengthened our friendship. Now I know not to ever. Now I'm not gonna ever go there again, because I know it could have really been over. And to people like Corey, that means that, damn, you really fuck with me. You took all I had to dish out in your back. But no, that's not the best way you could have dealt with it. That's not the only way you could have dealt with it. That's the only way that a toxic person can deal with it. But no, mature adults have much better ways of handling conflict resolutions with the people they're close to. Let's get it.
You think this was the absolute best way?
Did I say that?
Well, for him,
I think this was the best
it
way.
was the best way.
Yes.
Okay, well,
But for him,
They have a Robin's
I think it
size
was
silver somewhere.
I think it was the best way
Yeah.
for us to get to the point where we square for real.
You couldn't have done this.
See?
Not your way.
But
Couldn't
wait.
have did it your way,
Right,
Jeff.
but-
Because I'd have showed up in a shirt like that if I'd have did it my way.
How is that the best way to make sure that y'all are square for real? Like, elaborate or articulate more on that. How are y'all square for real now? Like I said, because he knows that it could have been over. And he knows, for real, he knows that it should be over. He knows that Zoe shouldn't rock with him no more. And because Zoe does to him, that means, damn, you really rock with me. See, this dude got an issue. Let's get it.
But I understand what he's saying. For him, where he's at, that's the best way. For me, the best way is behind closed doors and just talk to me. Holla at me. Let me know what the issue is, right? And Corey, you acknowledged that earlier today. Like, man, I probably could have did it another way.
We learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
We older, but we still learn. Man, I ain't embarrassed about shit. That's the thing about me.
And that's a shame, because I'm embarrassed for this nigga. I'm embarrassed for him. These past couple of weeks, it has been cringy watching this whole situation unfold. So the fact that he's not embarrassed shows you how jacked up he is mentally and maturity wise. Let's get it.
Fuck now, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This is me. I know I'm not no bed of roses, but my intent is well by motherfuckers that's up under me.
Again, here he goes with the people that's up under me. And this is the most malicious, evil intention, well-intended motherfucker I done ever seen in my life. How the hell, like, this nigga keep talking about his intentions are well, but this is the most disrespectful, tell your business toxic nigga that I done seen on the internet. Get out of here, man.
So I'm gonna ask you this: what? And Jeff, you chime in on this as well, man. What for brothers who go through shit like what we went through and what's been going on? The internet is on fire. This shit is public. This shit is disrespectful. What does a real apology look like after something like what we went through? What does a real apology look like to you, Corey and Jeff?
We want to go first.
You and then Jeff.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I can't say what a real apology looked like, but
how are you 50 plus years old and you can't say what a real apology looks like? Like, what has happened throughout the entire course of your life? Have you not seen a real apology? Like, this is utterly ridiculous that we got brothers in their 50s that don't know what a real apology look like, which explains why he hasn't been able to give one. Let's get it.
My instincts lead me in this world. I honestly believe your intentions by me are well. And I hope you believe when I tell you my intentions by you are well. That's what people build off of. Like, so, we in the third quarter, my nigga. We ain't gonna be alive forever.
We in the third.
I'm saying, like, why be at war with your brother when I got a homeboy in the month?
We in the third quarter, we ain't gonna be around forever. So basically, nigga, you might as well just take everything that I did on the chin, because we're in our twilight years, and we ain't gonna be around too much longer. So you might as well just take whatever I got to dish out on the chin. What kind of shit is that, man? Let's get it.
We ain't here that long. Why the fuck if I can avoid drama with somebody I feel like who got good intentions by me, that's what I'm gonna do.
But that ain't what you did. You didn't avoid drama with Zoe. You ran to the drama, and you took it to the umpteenth level. Like, you completely disrespected this brother. So you're saying one thing, but we seeing you do another. So stop it.
Because really, we at the age where we need each other. If you got somebody around you, that's why I don't have motherfuckers around me. I don't fuck one for real.
But you said on your show, when you fell out, when you and Zoe got into it, the only reason that I have you around is because you intelligent and I feel like you an asset. You said those are the only reasons that I have you around. You said you are the weakest link that I that I got, and the only reason that I got you around is because you intelligent and you are an asset to the show. That means you don't fuck with him for real, because that means you're just using him for his intelligence and the fact that he's an asset. Stop it, my nigga. Let's get it.
People on my side, it is what it is. I appreciate you. I love you for that. But I'm saying, when you hit the other side, it cannot deter you from doing what the fuck you doing out here in this world, man. Right. We got work to do. My job is going to be done. I'm going to commit to motherfucking bringing information to people. And if the shit go bad, I'm glad it went back to where it's supposed to go. Right. Like this. Right. I actually had faith it would. I just didn't know how it would play out, because before then, I didn't think you was the guy that you showed yourself to be. Right.
Now, what Corey just did is Corey tried to manipulate Zoe into thinking that there is a higher purpose for him to come back onto his show, because he knows Zoe is an asset to his show. And what he also did was expose the fact that he was never going to do what he needed to do to make the situation right. That's why he said, I didn't know how it was going to play out. I had faith that it was going to work out, but I didn't know how, because he knew he wasn't going to do what was necessary to rectify the situation, like give a humble, genuine apology. So he didn't know how Zoe was going to do something to patch it up. He didn't know what step, like he was saying, Zoe took the step towards me, now I'll take a step towards him. He didn't know how or if Zoe was going to take a step towards him. That's why he said, I didn't know how.
I just didn't know how it would play out, because before then, I didn't think you was the guy that you showed yourself to be.
Right.
You
but
see what I'm saying?
I felt like, because there have been times you seen my son, you met my son. My son's a solid nigga. He got that from me. He modeled himself after me. So I feel like there's more than enough examples of me being a solid man that you could see, just being around me and me bringing them around you. So.
And what Zoe doesn't realize is it's not about him. That's what, and I'm surprised he doesn't peep this. It's not about him. It's not about whether you are really solid or not, Zoe. It's about the fact that Corey is not solid. So he's going to try to Jedi mind trick you into thinking it's all about you. It's all about the fact that you're not solid while we're in this situation. And he doesn't realize that if Corey looks at you as not being solid for the lawyer situation, the money can never change that if he said it's not about the money. See, Corey completely exposed himself with that, but Zoe didn't. He didn't catch that, and I'm surprised he didn't catch that. Let's get it.
Like this. So what I'm saying to you is this: you said the nigga ain't do nothing to me. I'll let you have that, cause that's you gonna grow and see what needs to be solved. But I'm telling you, this is a fuck nigga. I'm telling you, I let the rest be up to you, G.
He talking about Grady. Now, this is why Corey don't have I water to cry with. Because you're telling Zoe Grady is a fuck nigga. But Zoe has already seen, and we've all have already seen that you are a fuck nigga. See, you telling Zoe is saying Grady ain't did shit to me. And you saying, okay, cool, you gonna see. But you done did shit to Zoe. And he's already seen that you a fuck nigga. And he allowed you to come back on his show. So you can't tell him shit about Grady. Because Grady hasn't, there's been no offense to Zoe on Grady's part. We can't say the same thing for you, Corey. You have already offended Zoe. You have already disrespected Zoe. You have already exposed his personal business that should have never came out. So you are a stamped fuck nigga. You got that stamp of approval. Grady is in question. Let's get it.